Hey, good morning from beautiful, sunny, but cold South Africa. So, of course, the thing everybody's talking about, the war between Iran and Israel. And, I've been talking a lot about various things in terms of politics and even religion. And as is to be expected, people want to shut me down. People are trying to shut down my social media by complaining about the things I have to say. So I just want to say that if they do shut me down, just move to all the other platforms, and you'll find me there. You'll find me there, and I'll just move to another platform. All right. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now back to this whole story with Iran and South Africa and Israel. Now, as this war has been escalating, we haven't heard a lot of talk about South Africa at this point. And that's pretty much a good thing. However, there are South African political leaders that are insisting on sticking their noses in and shouting from the rooftops, what their belief is about us as South Africans and who we support. And that's their art, I guess. But here's the problem. And I want these leaders to start taking cognizance of the realities of what they're saying. In the last 6 days, Israel has completely eliminated the leadership, bar one, of Iran. The leadership, okay? That is who they have eliminated. They've struck all the tactical areas of that country, and they've completely limited any kind of injury to Iranian civilians. And Iranian civilians, the people that you are shouting for, are not the Iranian civilians. You're shouting for the people that the Iranian civilians are now rising up against. As we speak, Iranian civilians just themselves assassinated, I think it's 3 or 4 members of the Iranian government. You can go look at it, you can go see it now. It's all over the news. And these are the people that you are supporting. Now, I need you to understand something. Maybe you don't understand warfare, maybe you don't understand intelligence, maybe you don't understand how things work. But I can tell you now that a country like Israel, okay, in my experience, all right, which is pretty vast as a former security forces personnel member, okay, is this. I can tell you that Israel would have had agents in this country for a minimum of the last 10 years. And those agents have been gathering information on you, buddy. They know where you live. They know where you eat. They know where you party. They know where your wife goes to shop for groceries. They know where your security personnel live. They know where the families of your security personnel are. They know, listen, bud, they know how many sugars you put in your coffee. They know how many tots of brandy you put in your Coke. They know what ice cream you like to eat. They know what you buy from the grocery store. They've got lists and lists of your bank accounts and where you spend your money and, what credit cards you have. They know what color underwear you put on. They know what TV shows you watch. They know everything about you. Every single last detail of your life, they know. And if it's Israel, there's a high probability that they've already planted devices all over the place. Devices that you don't know of. Now you think, in your deluded state of mind, that a war is going to put you in a place where you're sitting in a nice, comfortable office and the people that you are sweeping up are going to fight for you. This is not what's going to happen. This is not what's going to happen. When your loud mouth eventually gets these people's attention, which it already has, by the way. You saw that you were on video in the White House of the United States, right? So they know exactly who you are, okay? And when they turn their eyes on you, please understand that it's your children that are going to grow up without a father. Your children, but it's you who's going to be targeted, not the people of this country. I can tell you now that the people of South Africa are pretty safe. But the leadership that are continually yapping at the ankles of superpowers, in my opinion, are in serious danger. And I would really, if I were you, take that into consideration before you carry on the way you carry on. If you cannot see it, and I'm saying it again, the civilized world is taking a stand against radical elements, whether they're politically radicalized, whether they're religiously radicalized, whatever they are taking a stand. And you, because you've got no foresight, you know, are screaming and shouting against them at the top of your lungs. You know, I want to ask the political leaders of South Africa. This is a question from a South African. If your screaming and shouting now gets the attention that you wanted to get, and if these people decide that they've had enough of you, and they do come here, and they do decide that they're going to effect a regime change in South Africa through military force, okay? Let's say that was on the table. How are you, sir, going to protect us? How are you going to protect us from the chaos that you are preparing to unleash upon the citizens of this country? How are you going to stop missiles? How are you going to stop aircraft? How are you going to stop aircraft carriers and military vessels and flippant tanks and these types of things? How? To explain to us how you, as the official opposition of South Africa and the political parties of South Africa, and in fact the government of South Africa, how are you going to protect us, the South African citizens? Okay, and I'm speaking about all of us, because let me tell you something. Out of the 60 million people in this country, I can almost certainly guarantee you 58 million don't want to be in any kind of conflict. That I can tell you right now. But you are pushing and pushing and pushing to involve us in a conflict. How are you going to protect us? Do you really think that your BRICS partners are going to come and save you? Hey? Do you see India and China getting involved in Iran? Hey? They flew one cargo plane into Gaza or into Tehran. Now you think it's a declaration of war. It's not, bro. Who knows what was in that cargo plane? We don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Do you see the Chinese military mobilizing to go and fight against the Israelis in Iran? It's not happening, bud. It's not happening because China is smart. China is very smart. They're not going to waste resources. They're not going to waste resources on people who've brought this upon themselves, you know, through funding world terrorism. And you are supporting those people that funded world terrorism that are now getting trampled. And while they're getting trampled, you standing in stadiums shouting about how bad the people are that are trampling them. What are you going to do when they come here and decide to trample us? Huh? You're going to fight jet fighters with your AK-47s. Is that what you think? Huh? You must remember, for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. The good news is that finally now, this guy, Julius, has got someone else that he can focus his attention on, you know, and he's got somewhere else he can direct his anger to, you know, which gives us a little bit of a break for a while. But you better start thinking about it. If I were you, I'd be digging a bunker in my house, because they can touch you in your living room, brother. Sweet. Cheers.